Welcome to our panel. We are very sorry the panel delayed. We would do our best to make it short and to preserve the context of the panel and to receive some answers for the guests. Our discussion will be about the Middle East. The Middle East after 7th of October has changed a lot. The situation in Gaza and the following events and the war in Lebanon and the killing of Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah and other presidents have made the region to go through a lot of dynamical changes. At the same time, one of the main focuses is on Iraq as a country close to Gaza and which has a somehow stability. Iraq has avoided entering the war after Gaza events. Some of political parties were trying to go into the war, but it was not supported by the government or the public opinion inside Iraq. But the stability that we have in Iraq, it is still under threats because we have economical issues. It's said that Iraq is under economical threats. There is a lot of discussions and arguments regarding the budget, the economy in Iraq. What's your comment on that? Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this panel. And as you said, we would like to make our discussion short. What happened on the 7th of October was an earthquake. It redrew the map, not the geographical map, but the political map. This earthquake will overshadow the economical and social situation in the Middle East. Everything has changed socially and politically and economically. A country like Iraq, which depends on oil heavily, we are facing an economy in danger. The voids should be Iraq should avoid being a part of a struggle and should be a bridge for peace. Are there preparations or are there any expectations from the current government that the oil prices would decrease further? And is the government preparing itself for that? Whenever the government faces a problem, everyone tries to avoid the responsibility, but the government is trying its best to multiple its resources and to get away from depending on oil. It's an agricultural country. It should it can get benefit from its lands, and there is investment. A lot of investment is going on in the renewable energy, and we have many capabilities and potentials that we can utilize if we away from political struggle between among ourselves. Sudan is not away from Iraq, and it's very dear to Iraqi people, and it's also a center for the events going on in the Middle East. Do you think the instability in your country is related to the situation in the Middle East? And how is the situation in your country reflecting on the situation of the region? Can you tell us what is going on in your country? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you to Rudao, and thank you to Rewaq. Thank you to my brothers and sisters. I'm very happy to see you here in Erbil, the land of peace and of diversity. It's very unfortunate that after a long time we are going to discuss a political subject. The subject of Sudan is very important if we look at it to get some lessons from it. Like Mr. Minister said, now we have an experience in Iraq that can be used and should be learned from by Sudan. Sudan can learn from Iraq and can take lectures from it to avoid some of the challenges that are similarly faced by both countries. Sudan is impacted and impacting the Middle East because of its geographical position. It's in a very important geographic place, which is surrounded by Sahel, neighbored by the Red Sea and the Nile River. It has also close ties with the surrounding countries. We also have many natural sources like oil, like minerals, like agricultural, and a very good sunlight. Now Sudan is the third country in the Africa for gold reserve. And in the precious stones, Sudan is very rich. That's why Sudan, because of its natural resources and its geographical location, it's the center of many struggles. Before, ideological issues were the reason of the struggles, and but now the struggles are on the resources, and also there's
there's talks that, as we say, lose the situation in Palestine, but we see other projects and within the region. You see that developments and protecting we in Sudan have worked on having a strong relationship, and as well as talked about the International Criminal Court and uh, uh, to the beneath. As you say, Sudan has done a lot of work in terms of Israel. Now, when I'm talking, Sudan has a lot of conflict, and as you see, if you look at the and in the neighboring countries within our region, it's true that there's two military forces fighting each other, but the project clear and the conflict is seen as an international conflict. And there's a lot of sides or other countries that intervening within the conflict, and there's a lot of even local tribes intervened in the war, and there's international actors intervene, and Israel also always has become an important factor in all the issues throughout history in Sudan. Even at the start, since the independent, which in the last 7 decades, Israel has intervened and has taken opportunity of our mistakes. Through our mistakes, Israel has been able to intervene, especially between north and south of Sudan. Unfortunately, we has become two failed state. That's why right now it has become a risk of going down as a failed state. You see, right now in Sudan, throughout history, the first was a revolutionary authority, now became a democratic authority, and then a military coup happened. The leftists came into power, and then it changed toward and then during the 1980s, People's Revolution happened and became transitional power. A new authority came up, which didn't last for 4 years, and then ideological coup happened, which Muslim Brotherhood took advantage of, and the Islamists, which nearly 30 years ruled Sudan, and didn't rule ideologically, but it ruled in terms of all the sectors. And then a revolution happened, and I'm proud to say I was one of the people who protested and participated in the revolution to to remove the former regime, but now within two forces, different forces, are fighting, and it has now the conflict is continuing for the last 2 years, and it's risk to widen the conflict and become more bloody, and risks the future of Sudan, and it has become a bloody war, bloody conflict, and it has. That's why Israel had a big role in the. Both sides are fighting to have a closer relationship with Israel, and especially General Hamidin. Both sides are in a race to have a bigger relationship, better relationship with Israel. And now General Burhan, closer, more closer toward the Arab countries, because the Sudani people are more closer toward Palestinians than the Israeli. Uh, Sudani people has problem with Israeli. They don't want to be controlled by people who are close to Israel. But that's why I'm talking about the two sides. Yeah, and the experience in Iraq and throughout the region in Sudan, especially that's happening in Erbil, to have a real federal government. Now that unfortunately that and now we're in front of a big threat. And another country which has a big influence in this region, a wider region, it's U.S., especially in terms of the Gaza plan. Yeah, where there's a plan that they are talking about, which, in my opinion, is a big and dangerous plan, and it's a threat for all the democratic principles. Uh, uh, Thank you very much, Ms. Minister. The current situation in Syria, we as Iraqis, we have to work on it. Now, I want to take up this opportunity to go to Mr. Khalil and ask him a question. You talked about a lot of issues, and economic perspective in Sudan, and the conflict, and the effect of the conflict. Let me please allow me to go to Mr. Khalil. Uh, yeah, the minister talked about the conflict is not ideological right now in Sudan. It's more about power, and about Iran, and about Israel. And the Iranian side has faced a lot of challenges, and especially in Gaza, Lebanon, as well as economic crisis. Yeah. How do you look at Mr. Khalid? Uh, how do you see the nature of and the effect of those conflicts within the Iran and Iranian economy, and the role of Iranian in those all conflicts?
تفضل. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Well, Iran has been fighting with many efforts by Israelis to create manipulated, let's say manipulated narrative to make a dichotomy that what is happening in this region between Iran and Israel has been a rivalry based on the very logic of maybe balance of power or power politics only, and to try to ignore the very root, let's say, cause of the problem and the real and original narrative in the region, which is the cause of Palestine. There is a real narrative based on the fact that Israel is the occupier, and the occupation for over 75 years and the subjugation of the Palestinian people, all those things that you know. While Israelis have been trying to manipulate this real original narrative and make a fake narrative based on rivalry between Iran and Israel, which is based on power politics. This is, first of all, a very important point that we need to consider and address, first of all. And the other fact that as everything is in transition at the moment, in our region also everything is in the transitional side. And the Middle East region is the laboratory, the test laboratory of the changing world order, based on the fact that the regional order in this region would be also so much influential in terms of shaping the new world order globally. And the order that is favoring the United States and Israel is the Israeli-led order in the Middle East. That's what Netanyahu himself mentioned maybe 6 months ago, that he named the most brutal killing of the century as the new order in the Middle East, that we are trying to make and create a new order. And this has been also favored by the United States to make an Israeli-led order based on the hegemony of Israel in the region. And based on that strategic calculus of the United States, based on this, let's say, a narrative and this so-called regional order, every other country in the region should be neutralized. And that's why we have been witnessing bombing many infrastructure in Syria, the military infrastructure of the country, so that Israelis, they have been trying to, let's say, West Bankize the whole region, the Gaza itself, Syria, Lebanon, and if they can make it, they can go to also for other countries in the region to neutralize any potential rival against Israel in the region. This is the so-called Israeli order or the new order that they are wishing for. This is important, and based on the fact that while they are trying to make this manipulated narrative, the fact is that the very cause of the resistance in the region is in the very heart of the region and among the hearts of the nations in the region. As long as the occupation persists, the resistance would persist. I don't care about those narratives or, many rhetorics about, let's say, the axis of resistance, all the propaganda against the axis of resistance, all those things, but the resistance itself would persist as long as the occupation persists in the region. And Iran has been defending the very logic of resistance itself, not based on the balance of power, not based on the power politics, as Israel is trying to, by self-prophecy, trying to establish or make this narrative based on their own interest, but based on the very logical and moral, inclination in the side of the Iranians to defend those people under suppression. This is the situation. Iran has also paid very high price for that. That's the reality. The economic sanctions, the primary sanctions of the United States, the secondary sanctions also targeted those countries that are working with Iran economically. These are the reality and has had also many negative implications on the economic situation in the country, while the economy is running anyway by all those challenges. Meanwhile, it's important to consider the very original narrative based on the realities of the region.
Thank you very much. The minister, Madam Minister, said the struggle is not logical, but the struggle is about the resources and about power. And as you mentioned, as long as there is occupation, the resistance will continue. I would like to ask, do you think there is a new map in the region in dividing the region according to its ethnic groups or social groups? Do you think new forces will emerge in the region? Or do you think there will be a new social map, a new map for the forces in the region? I will speak in Kurdish.
Thank you very much, Moderator. Thank you for the Media Network, for the organizers. Don't get me wrong, organizing this forum is full of stress and difficulties and challenges. And I try to talk quickly, so because I have a short time. But before start my speech, the things I say, it's not a position, it's more information to try to get across to you. So please, my friends, Iranian friends, Turkish friends, Arab friends, Kurdish friends, even though I speak Kurdish, and Israel friends, don't take me as a position, my position. It's just an analyze, quick analyze after the 7 October attacks. It's just meant to make clear clarification, so that don't give me positions to say he has taken a side against the other side. Another point is it's important that is the Middle East after the October 7 is not the same as Middle East after the October 7. The Middle East before 7 October is finished. After this, the Middle East of 7 October is we have five sides: Kurdish, Israeli, Turkey, Iranian, and all those sides are rebuilding. The Arabic side is all is around rebuilt around Saudi and Mohammed bin Salman. Without Mohammed bin Salman, other Arab countries like Egypt and Jordan, Syria, all of them are under his shadows. And if you see like Jamal Abdel Nasser 1960s, after 7 October, we have Saudi Arabia, and who's replacing Jamal Abdel Nasser. and you have Egypt and UAE, but it's Mohammed bin Salman, model of Middle East after October 7 is rebuilding a state on three bases: security, development, without democracy and human rights. Misr follows it, UAE followed, Jordan. Syria's Ahmad Shari wants to have the same path, and US and European accepting because it gives them a guarantee. Beside them, there's other countries near the collapse. Sorry, Iraq's near Iraqi collapse. If they are not quick to have a new, so they get Kurds and Sunni and Shia get involved. Lebanon, same thing. Libya, Sudan, Yemen, and and even Syria. If they are not be careful, they will go in the same category that's close to collapse. Regarding Israel, Israel in 7 October, the aura of Israel was broken. The symbolism of Israel was broken. But after 7 October, all those holiness, all those broken aura, they rebuilt it. But they went beyond that. Even the Israelis didn't think that how they could rebuild it that quick. Israel made even 1 year that become the most powerful country in Middle East. Even if you talk about after the October 7, the main winner, which without any doubt, it's Israel is the main winner. Within Israel is the right wing, the leftists collapsed. 79% of they don't believe in any Palestinian state to be a solution in protecting the Israeli security, and that's a big change that had occurred in Israeli society. I'm going quick because we don't have a lot of time, and I know the attendees are very tired. The Turkish side, if you take out the Israel from the game, after Israel, if there's a winner, it's Turkey. Turkey, after Israel, is the main winner of the situation. One, in the ideological phase, which is an Islamist, Turkish Islamist. During the Arab Spring, they failed. But after the fall of Bashar Assad, there's a big opportunity of Turkey to, with soft power, to translate its ideology to across the region, to it's an opportunity for Turkey to get its horse and become a powerful force in Middle East. And as we know, Ahmad Shari in Syria wants to rebuild Syria in all sectors and give all those to Turkey, so Turkey can rebuild all those. As you know, Syria has a long border with Turkey and become an ideological border with, Turkey easily could cross to Lebanon and other Middle Eastern countries. And in terms of economy, it could have a big economy. It's because, as in France say, rebuilding Syria needs $500 million, and Turkey has a big opportunity in rebuild its economy through Syria. There's another Iranian side. If Iranian cousin, I'm sorry, I was about to write a book in French. Means the collapse of Middle East. But then when 7 October came, the publishing house contacted me. You have to rewrite your book because I wrote the book in a way the system of Middle East it's rebuilt around two main actors, Iran and Saudi. Turkey was out, Israel was out. Even Abraham Accord didn't have an effect on the Middle East. But after 7 October, then Iran didn't have any influence, doesn't have any influence. Iran and lost Syria, Lebanon, Palestine with Hamas. Even Iraq, which is the main instrument within Iran, it's going, its influence waning. And the main question right now for Iran is Baghdad, how to control the four main capital of Middle East, Baghdad, Damascus, Beirut. But the question is how survive Iranian regime to continue to prolong its control, and how to rebuild Iranian economy, which is now near the collapse. That's the main priority now. There's nothing left that's about the Kurdish side is that means then Kurdish sides between Iraq, Syria, and Turkey and Iran have two fundamentals. It's a democratic process between Erdogan and Öcalan. This process, if it's succeed, I have no doubt that in the Middle East will change the Middle East face, because if PKK in the recent years have been a big factor, become an stabilizing factor for Turkey, or PKK will become a strategic partner of Turkey, so it can widen its influence in the Middle East. Because of the Iranian, the weak Iranian side, is that the Kurdistan region, as a strategic ally of US and EU, it can become a big factor in all Middle East. Thank you very much. Allow me please at the end of the panel in half minute, please, what's your prediction for Middle East in next 10 years? I don't want to predict. Iraq, we need to two way. One way is the local way. We should have a stronger state establishment, on three base, the love for the country, the right of the people, and the law, and recognizing the establishment, and the justice, and that's the three bases. For if this finish all each other and complete each other, we will have a strong state that could its people feel safe, and will have an environment to improve yourself and improve the country, and have a symbol. Sudan, thank you very much for this question, because everyone, we don't know what will happen in the future, but the ability to think anyone who has a project for the Middle East can Middle East can implement it, because we are busy with the past. Past is good, but we not have to talk about it all the time. The worst case scenario is, and I hope the best scenario happens, which Mr. Adel talked about, is if I understand that the worst scenario is because we are changing from a force to another force. That's why we are all divided into and become between Arabic and Turkey, Shia, Sunni. The civil war will continue, and we'll see it will become a source of threats toward the world, and will make it easier for America to have more interventions, and there will be more wave of crisis, and will beg the international community, and they will come and intervene. They will take out the natural sources. We'll have a bleak future, and then we'll talk about helplessness of Palestinian case, and talk about Israeli victory, and talk about dividing each other, and we'll, each country will try to become an ally of Israel. And this is the situation where the hope I have is that those things we faced in the past, we understand we have a unified solution, and the benefits and the completeness of each other, if anyone is not there, won't be complete. We as Sudan we believe in a way that we don't attach ourselves with geographically. We have a description.
Thank you. Yeah, very briefly, with regard to my brother's remarks, first of all stereotypes and narratives about Iran's influence in the region before the October 7th was so much exaggerated. And now the weakness of Iran in the region is so much exaggerated again. This is an analytical mistake, as it is the case with Turkish influence in the region and dominance of Turkish, which is so much exaggerated. And I'm confident that Turkey will face many challenges in the region. This is very important to understand. And with regard to the order, the Middle East doesn't need any hegemonic power or any hegemon. We need a cooperative, collective order. That's all. Thank you.
My cousin, please. My cousin, please. Let's talk like a cousin. There's a big difference with the reality and with the fantasy. You talked about the reality that should happen. I'm talking about the reality that is here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a good time.